How many calories should you eat per meal, per day? This is a really good question, and it all comes back to how many calories are you eating across the whole day and how many meals are you planning on eating for the whole day too. So in our JD Nutrition Hub portal, all of our meals range between 400 to 600 calories. And the reason for that is so that men and women can both eat them and be sustained eating them. But as a general rule of thumb, because it is all different, it varies, and there isn't a really hard, fast rule on how many calories per meal, because you could eat different calories per meal per day, which is totally fine as long as you're hitting your overall target and it averages out weekly. For breakfast, we would say 400 to 600, for lunch 400 to 600, for dinner 400 to 600 calories. And it could look something like 500 for breakfast, 400 for lunch, or 500 for lunch and then 600 for dinner. Or if somebody was snacking, it could be a 5-5-5, like 500 breakfast, lunch and tea, 400 breakfast, lunch and tea, and then you could have snacks in there too. And on weekends, it could look completely different. Like it might just be, 300 for breakfast because, you're going out for lunch or dinner, and then, 800 to 900 at dinner time, and then maybe 200 when you come home or something like that. Like it really depends on the day and also your calorie target and your goal as well. And we want you to start to think not just about how many calories overall, but ask yourself, like, what meal is going to keep me full for the longest? And also factoring in that it's more important that you nail your protein to begin with as your first point of call than worrying too much about the calories. Like the goal is to get your protein up to minimum 20 grams of protein per meal. We're aiming for 30 grams of protein per meal. And obviously we make that super easy for you to do with our nutrition recipes in the hub. But, it doesn't have to happen overnight. If you're somebody who's only eating 15 grams of protein for breakfast, like it's okay. Like once you know better, you can do better. And it's about slowly getting better over time and getting that overall number up. And it can take time, but it's very easy, and the benefit of it is that you feel so good, you have energy, you feel full across the whole day, your blood sugar levels are stable, your hormones are happy, like you recover from your gym workouts, and all is good, happy days. Fat loss is so much more effortless when you're nailing your protein. And this, of course, becomes so much more important when you're in a deficit. It's one thing if you're eating 2,000 plus calories because you're like in a build phase. It's obviously important to be getting your protein in, but if you're like in a fat loss phase, it's even more important that your protein is much, much higher than what most people realize, and that you're nailing that, because that's the way that you'll be able to keep yourself full and be reducing your overall calories without ending up being hungry all the time and craving snacks and sugar and then blowing out and binging because you're not sustained. Whenever we undereat, we always get hungry at some point at night. If you undereat protein all day, you will overeat something, and that is usually carbs or sugar or fat. And obviously those kind of calories creep up really, really quickly.